He's very sensitive. He's part of that generation who think he can't be criticized.
I'll never respect the words that come out of your mouth. You never want to hear that from anyone, let alone from 13-time All-Star Kevin Durant. During his 15 years in the league, Durant hasn't started many trash-talking fights, but he sure has ended a few. Let's take a good look at some times when people said the wrong thing to Kevin Durant and how it all turned out badly for them.
You're watching Hoop Harmony.
So back in 2018, Mo Wagner was a lowly rookie for the Los Angeles Lakers and was trying to find his footing in the league and help his team in any way he could. Little did he know that he would go face to face with Durant on the court. All of a sudden, I'm on the court with him. Kevin Durant guards me, and I think he's not taking me seriously at all. He doesn't even know who I was. So it turns out that Wagner got fouled during a play and was about to take some free throws. Wagner was understandably fired up and said out loud, "Yeah, you can't guard me." But get this, he didn't know that it was Durant, one of the biggest names in the entire league, who had fouled him. Realizing that he had just talked smack to a future Hall of Famer, Wagner suddenly got pretty quiet and nervous. He approached the free throw line and said that Durant, Draymond Green, and DeMarcus Cousins were trash-talking him. That had an effect because Wagner only made one of his 3 free throws. See, when someone says something to Durant, he notices, and he will cut you down and stare daggers into you, or worse. It was an embarrassing moment for Wagner, and, well, it was totally noticed by Durant, too. He would later say, quote, "I walked away from that game thinking, damn, that rookie is an a-hole." Ouch. At the time, Wagner was only averaging 4.8 points per game, so he had no place to talk so much trash. Can you really blame Durant for dishing it out like that? Man, what a nightmare for the rookie. It's not just rookie players who will sometimes feel the wrath of Durant. See, the dude will take it to anyone, anywhere, no matter who they are. Back in June, Durant was online when he came across a Twitter space conversation that was about, well, him. This one was hosted by someone called Legend of Winning, and the title of his show was Kevin Durant is Not Top 5. Little did he know, Durant himself would hop into the spaces and spoke his mind.
I just think how y'all even look at the game is whack as playoff success. Like you factor in team success when you talking about players. I just think how y'all consume the game is trash. Like, are you good or not?
I agree.
I mean, some things could be that simple. Are you just good or not? I mean, a lot of people have seen it for a long time, brother. And it's okay. These lists don't really mean nothing anyway. So why are you getting so upset about them?
He obviously had some strong opinions and wasn't afraid to share them. For a few minutes, viewers and participants sat in awe as Kevin Durant laid into them and critiqued their opinions on basketball. What sort of effect did this have on Kevin? Well, it's hard to tell because the Twitter episode happened during the summer when he was on break. But he has burst into the new season, scoring 31 points a game, which is his highest total in 10 years. The people on Twitter were saying he was washed and didn't hold a candle next to Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic, and other big names in the game. Apparently, Durant took that trash talking personally and is using it as fuel to have one of his best seasons ever. Okay, but if you really want to dig into one of the nastiest trash-talking events in Kevin Durant's career, you have to talk about his relationship with Charles Barkley. Barkley knows a thing or two about basketball, and he's a legit NBA legend, but he and Kevin Durant do not see eye to eye. Man, these two are this close to getting into a boxing match one of these days. I don't know where we even start with these two. For years now, Barkley has said that Durant is too sensitive and takes things way too personally, mostly because of moments like we talked about when he hopped on Twitter or shot back at critics. He even called Kevin Mr. Miserable and said that he only piggybacked his way onto 2 NBA titles with the Warriors. Hey, that's not all either. Barkley also said that Kevin didn't have the mental makeup to play for the New York Knicks when the team was rumored to want to sign him. I can't really blame KD for getting pissed off. Durant was mostly pretty measured when he was asked about Barkley, saying that he and Barkley had a lot in common, but that he probably wouldn't sit down with Charles, to be honest. Yeah, you can bet that you won't see Durant on the NBA on TNT very often, not as long as Charles Barkley is one of the co-hosts. The trash talking heated up again a few months later when Charles sat down with 60 Minutes and was asked his opinion about Kevin Durant again, and as expected, he said that Durant was part of that generation who think he can't be criticized.
Kevin Durant.
He's very sensitive, great player. He's part of that generation who think he can't be criticized. He's never looked in the mirror and says, man, was that a fair criticism?
Durant immediately clapped back, hopping on Twitter to say, quote, "This ain't getting tiring, Chuck. I'll never respect the words that come out your mouth, fam. Just deal with it." This was just days before the postseason was set to begin, and Durant was obviously fired up about it. During the opening playoff round, his first with the Suns, Durant exploded on the court and averaged a crazy 28.4 points per game and 7.6 rebounds per game. His Suns easily blew past the Clippers, and some people said that Durant played extra hard because he knew that Charles was watching every second from the TNT studios. Instead of just moping around when people talk smack about him, Durant converts his anger into all-star fuel. However, there are times when the trash talking hits deeper and harder and is more difficult for Durant to overcome because it was coming from his own former teammates. Kevin Durant was the hero of Oklahoma City. He was the golden child, the future of the franchise, a future Hall of Famer who would lead the team to the promised land. But when he left the Thunder to join the super team of the Golden State Warriors, he quickly became the most hated man in town. As you can imagine, his first game playing against his old team had some high tension and heated moments. It was February of 2017, and the Warriors were one of the best teams in the league looking to prove something. The energy was intense from the very beginning, and the fans and players were letting Kevin know what they felt about him. The boos were practically shaking the walls of the arena. At one point in the game, Kevin and his old teammate Russell Westbrook started to go at it. When a timeout was called, Russell started shouting at Kevin, saying, I'm coming. That trash talk didn't get under Kevin's skin, mostly because his Warriors were up by nearly 20. So Durant just calmly responded to Westbrook's taunts by simply saying, "You're losing though." Things were obviously heated between those two, and just a few moments before, Westbrook was caught on camera clearly pushing Durant, although he didn't get called for a foul for it. Man, it was ugly. These two did not like each other. And that wasn't the end of it either. Later in the game, Durant and his former teammate Andre Robertson got heated. But this was more than just words. Durant and Robertson literally butted heads, and for a moment it looked like the trash talking was going to lead to fists being thrown. It was like all of the trash talking and intimidation actually worked in Durant's favor because he scored 34 points despite the chorus of boos from the crowd. It was just one of many victories the Warriors had that season, and it showed that Durant almost always works through the hatred of fellow players and fans. But his beef with OKC doesn't end there. The next season, Durant was back playing against the Thunder, and things got heated again. Throughout the game, the crowd was again raining boos down on Durant. Westbrook still had a chip on his shoulder, and the Warriors ultimately ended up losing that game. Things got red hot yet again, this time with Westbrook and Durant getting in each other's faces. Some words were shared, and although I can't tell what they said, I bet it wasn't pretty. Usually he can get empowered by smack talking, but that night it actually worked against him. However, it would only be a short time until the next matchup between Durant and OKC, and that time he bounced back hard and dropped 28 on his old team. All of these moments were prime examples of Durant responding to trash talk. Sometimes he just shrugs it off, and other times he gets into the face of the trash talker. No matter if it leads to a win or a loss, Kevin Durant isn't going to let that stuff slide. He never has, and he never will.